It's midday. A very good afternoon to you and welcome to the City Prime News on 97.3 City FM. The news is live from our studios at number 11 Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. We are also live on all affiliates across the 16 regions of the country. Western region, we are live on Beach FM 105.5 and Sky Power FM 93.5, both in Takrady. Bono region, J Live FM 95.5 in Sunyani. Ashanti region, Focus FM 94.3 on KNUST campus in Kumasi and Orange FM 107.9 also in Kumasi. The news is also live around the world on citynewsroom.com. I'm Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Coming up, NDC's Bernard Bediakumbedo wins the Akutia seat in a keenly contested by-election.
I, Eric Osu-Jemfi, the returning officer of Akwatia constituency, declare Bernard Bediakumbedo as the parliamentary candidate elect, MP elect for Akwatia constituency.
This afternoon, we have a wrap of the just ended by-election. Plus, we hear from the NPP who say the party will regroup for the next general elections.
We have other factors that we have to point out. The critical is that we have lost the election and we'll go back to the strategy and regroup and come back as we have continued with our regrouping process.
Also coming up, inflation drops to 11.5% in August, beating the Bank of Ghana's end-of-year target of 12%.
Inflation for August 2025 was 11.5%. It is an 8th consecutive month of decline.
Still ahead, President Mahama to pay a working visit to the Ofanko Road project site. Now, this is to assess progress of work on the project, which forms part of the Accra and Sawum Highway expansion. And later, with just 3 days to the 2025 edition of the This is Ghana exhibition, we'll hear from some exhibitors who are gearing up to showcase high-quality, affordable, locally made products this weekend.
It's been life-changing for us, and do come and let's network. We can do B2B connections, supply, and all that. So please make sure you take part in this exhibition. It's been great for us, and I'm sure it will do wonders for you too.
All that and more on City Prime News, which is also live in the Volta region on Revival FM 99.3 in Tajeu, Northern Region Radio Bimbala 91.1 in Bimbala. Upper East, we are live on Tanga FM 93.7 in Bolgatanga. Upper West, Tunsong FM 97.3 in Wa and Drapa FM 96.1 in Drapa.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Grateful for choosing us. Now, Bernard Bediakumbedo of the governing National Democratic Congress won the Akutia by-election, delivering a crucial victory for the government in one of the most keenly contested electoral battles of the year. The Electoral Commission's satisfied result showed Bediakum securing 18,199 votes of the valid vote cast. His closest rival, Kwame Asumedu of the NPP, garnered 15,235 votes. City News' Kennedy Chumesi has a wrap of the just ended by-election.
Akwatia in the Eastern region went to polls on Tuesday in a by-election to replace the late NP Ernest Kuni of the NPP. The contest was between the NDC's Bernard Bediakumbedo and the NPP's Solomon Kwame Asumadu. The polls were largely peaceful, though tensions flared at the Akwatia Lorry station in the Vawaso electoral area on Tuesday when a confrontation broke out when Vice Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Chief Sofo Azoka, threatened to harm the third National Vice Chairman of the New Patriotic Party NPP. A member of Chief Sofo Azoka's escort reportedly slapped Masawudu before police intervened to restore order. At the close of polls, the Electoral Commission declared Bernard Bediakumbedo winner.
Solomon Asumedu had 15,235 votes. Bernard Bediakumbedo of NDC had 18,199. Ousu Patrick, LPG, had 82 votes. Pete Asumedu Solomon, NPP, had 15,235. Bernard Bediakubedu, NDC, had 18,199. Ousu Patrick, LPG, had 82 votes. Total valid votes, 33,516. Total rejected ballots, 303. Total vote casts, 33,819. With the figures mentioned so far, Director, with your permission, I, Eric Osu Jemfi, the returning officer of Akwatia constituency, declare Bernard Bedia as the parliamentary candidate elect, MP elect for Akwatia constituency.
NDC's Bernard Bediakubeidi spoke to the media after his declaration as the MP elect of the Akwatia constituency.
Ebenezer, this is how far the good Lord has brought us. You have said it all. The confidence has always been there. It is not just mere confidence out of nothing. It was born out of the good work we have done. After engaging the people, we read their reaction towards the message we gave them. And we saw that it had really imbibed. They gave us a hope, some hope of a sort, which hope has resulted to what we see today. I mean, we've always been very confident. I told you, I don't know whether, I told you guys that we've been in this game for a while. If you are in it and you are losing, you will know, except maybe if you don't want to be honest yourself. I told you what we were working out at that moment I spoke to you was with regards to the gap. But as for the win, what are we witnessing? We won.
Meanwhile, the Eastern Regional Secretary of the NPP accepted defeat, while the NDC celebrates what it calls a mandate for change.
Let me say we are a bit disappointed because that wasn't what we were expecting, but the constituent they've spoken, so we take it in good faith. I think there were a lot of factors that goes into an election because getting to the tail end of it, there were a lot of lows on us to hit the ground, and NDC also came in the last minute well prepared, that you could see around people were giving out money. And now the worrying trend in Ghana now is that maybe in the near future governments will abandon projects and stash money and pay people to vote.
That was a wrap of the just ended by-election in Akwatia by my colleague Kennedy Chumesi. Meanwhile, the New Patriotic Party says the by-election result will help the party regroup and re-strategize for a stronger comeback in the next general elections. Deputy General Secretary of the party, Haruna Mohammed, tells Citi News that although the NPP worked hard to retain the Akwatia seat in honor of the late Ernest Kumi, voters decided otherwise, a decision the party respects.
It means that we have to get back, be very frank to ourselves, re-strategize and regroup as we have started our regrouping process to ensure that we clinch onto power in 2028. There are two outcomes in the election. One is to win, and the second is to lose. And if you also analyze critically the election polls, even that one that was conducted by Musa Dankwa, he indicated first that the NPP was winning by a clear margin. He came to indicate that the NDC was winning. And then yesterday, he released another poll, calling it an exit poll and party affiliation. It means that the party was going to, the NPP was winning by 51%. And eventually the NPP lost. So it means that this was a very close election, an election that did not show its as to who was going to win. But eventually the NDC won. We have other factors that we have to point to, but the critical is that we have lost the election. And we'll go back to the strategy and regroup and come back as we are continuing with our regrouping process.
Haruna Mohammed also condemned the attack on the party's third national vice chair, Alhaji Osman Masaudu, by the NDC's chief Asoka.
I think it was very unnecessary for such an attack have come through the vice chairman. If you check actually what the beginning, it started like a joke, and from the third vice national chairman of the MP, it was a brotherly joke, and the vice chairman for the NDC took it very serious, and even he keep on reminding him that we are brothers, and the face look of our vice chairman indicated very clearly that this was like a play between vice chairman of the two biggest political parties. This is unfortunate that it happened. I don't think that it is something that anybody should comment. It is very distasteful, and the party at the national level will sit down and critically look at it. If there is any that has to be taken, then the party will definitely take it. But I think that it is very distasteful and it shouldn't have happened. And I commend the national third vice chairman of our party for his composure and the manner in which he comported himself without necessarily responding and sticking to his brotherly discussion and joke and advices.
The NPP further commended the Ghana Police Service for the professionalism displayed by its officers before, during and after the by-election.
Yeah, I must say, yes, I commend the Ghana Police Service for the level of professionalism, even though we had indicated to them that we never trust them. They should make us to trust them. What they have done here so far, I have to commend the IGP and the security forces for the human job that they have done. Though it is very costly, the kind of security job that was provided here is a very costly job, because the cost that is going to go against the state is very high, or will be very high, and that they did a good job. I must comment.
Deputy General Secretary of the NPP, Haruna Mohammed, still on the Akwatia by-election, Executive Director of Global Info Analytics, Musa Dankwa, has dismissed claims that vote buying affected the poll. He cited a national survey conducted which showed that only 7% of voters would accept money and change their vote. Speaking on the Citi Breakfast Show earlier today, Musa Dankwa added that politicians can no longer rely on propaganda or last-minute projects to sway voters.
Your messaging must be up and it must target their concern.
We did see the manifestation of money in this particular by-election. Wouldn't you say that played a role as well?
Absolutely not. We've done a survey in this country before the last election, and we measured what proportion of voters would take money and switch their vote. That number was 7%. So if you are investing 100 million into constituency to buy vote, you only get 7% return. That is a big loss. Gone are the days when elections are won on propaganda, on emotion, on insult, or on anything. And all the parties, they must realize that the demography of people who are voting in Ghana today has dramatically changed. Over 70% of people who vote in Ghana today are below 35 years of age. That is something that these guys must appreciate and understand the implication of that. These people are well connected. They are on social media. They do fact check. And when they fact check you and you are lying, that is your reputation and your brand in the gutter.
Musa Dankwa also noted that behavior in Akwatia proved more complex than expected. Initial polls showed the NDC trailing, but as election day approached, voters realigned and cast their ballots in line with expectations.
In the first poll that we conducted, whereas NDC was behind among the accounts by 6%, they were also behind among all the other ethnic groups that vote for them traditionally. I mean, the Moli Dagbanis, the Ghana Dangbes, and the Evers in those areas. We understand perfectly that when they are not in their areas of dominance, they tend to take cover because of marginalization or so many other things. Yesterday, the final poll we conducted, they realigned and they were voting as historically we've known them to vote. So after the predictions, it was based on the fact that they are going to vote the way they said they will vote. But in the exit poll, I became nervous. Almost every other ethnic minority group, except Akan, NDC was losing them in the exit poll. And I said, goodness, God, what is happening today? But then when I did some analysis, I also found out that these guys may not be candidates with the responses they are giving us.
That was Executive Director of Global Info Analytics, Musa Dankwa. Let's still stay with politics because a member of the NDC's communications team, Hamza Suhini, says the party is focused on reducing the NPP's influence in Ghana's political landscape. His comments follow the NDC's win in the Akwatia by-election where Bernard Bediako defeated the NPP's Solomon Kwame Asumedu. Speaking on Channel 1 TV's Breakfast Daily, Suhini described the result as a clear indicator of the NPP's waning political misfortunes.
The defeat in Akwatia is a reminder of the abyss the NPP finds itself, and as a serious political party, they must begin to do self-introspection and not think that the only way to solve their problems is an election of a flag bearer. That is the point I am making. It started from somewhere, and I can assure you, we are committed as a political party. Our objective is to ensure that we make it practically impossible for the MPP to be the second force as far as our democratic process is concerned. Because the NPP is the greatest danger. We've been consistent since 1992 to our democratic stability and our democracy and our economy. And they demonstrated that in the last 8 years.
A member of the NDC's communications team, Hamza Suhini, meanwhile aide to former Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, that is Dennis Miracles Abuaji, rejected Mr. Suhini's remarks, describing them as premature arrogance from the NDC.
The NDC all of a sudden have won an election 9 months ago. And all of a sudden they are the best political scientists in this world. And I ask myself, how many have you won over us? Come on, we've had 9 elections. We won 4. You've just won your 5th one. So you don't have anything superior over us. Whatever we did, that made us remove your military regime, okay, in 2000. And then we came to power between 2000 and 2008. We'll do it again and come to power in 2028. Whatever we did, that made us remove your party in 2016 and came back to power for the last 8 years. We'll do it. If you had all this sense, all these political acumen, you were in opposition for 8 years. You just came back. You were in opposition for 8 years. You couldn't win election in 2016.
They've seen the light.
You couldn't win election in 2020. Okay? Why are you all of a sudden are pointing to yourself the best political strategies in this world? And
Dennis Miracles Abuaji is aide to former Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. This is still the City Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. I'm Hawa Idrisu Mustafa, still to come with just 3 days to the 2025 edition of the This is Ghana exhibition. We hear from some exhibitors who are gearing up to showcase high-quality, affordable, locally made products this weekend. We have details coming up shortly. Please don't go away.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Luck is everywhere for everyone. Yeah.
The winning season is back, but this time I am collecting the wins like jollof at a wedding. The luckiest season 3 is here. Your chance to flip your luck or maybe your bank accounts too.
2 easy ways to join. Dial *712#. Hit 1 to buy for you or 2 to gift a friend. Feeling lucky? Pick 1 for a random number or hit 2 to choose your own. Pay with mobile money. Done. You're in.
Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, click community tickets, choose your number or let the system do so for you. You can buy a ticket for your boo or your favorite barber. Pay with Momo or card if you're abroad.
1 ticket could turn your 1 Ghana Cedi into 500 times more. And the whole community could win 10 times over.
Dial *712# or log on.
Let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
Play responsibly, not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Ghana's biggest marketplace is almost here. The This is Ghana Exhibition 2025 is drawing closer. Come experience 2 unforgettable days of authentic made in Ghana products, services, and culture with electrifying performances from Kwampa Band and In Ching Ching Band. It's happening on Saturday the 6th of September and Sunday the 7th of September 2025. All of this is at the A4 Sutherland Children's Park and from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day. The This is Ghana Exhibition Exhibition 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM and is proudly sponsored by MTN, EcoBank, Side Hustle by EK Brand Consult, Ghana Enterprises Agency, Ghana Export Promotion Authority, and Ghana Exim Bank, and is supported by Twillium Industrial Company Limited and Build Financial Technologies. Don't miss the biggest Made in Ghana celebration. This is Ghana Exhibition 2025.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Yeah, welcome back. Now, policy analyst Michael Koshi Dede has criticized politicians for what he describes as a lack of urgency in tackling critical national issues such as illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey. His remarks come in the wake of the deployment of more than 5,000 police officers during the recently concluded Akutia by-election. Speaking on Channel 1 TV's Breakfast Daily, Mr. Dede said political leaders appear to commit more resources and attention to elections than to addressing challenges that directly impact the lives and future of Ghanaians.
I think that the amount of resources we deploy for elections are phenomenal. Why? Because the political interest has become so keen for our political players. But when it comes to addressing national issues, you don't find the same level of interest and deployment of resources. For instance, typical again is Galamsey. Akutia is a is one constraint of the 200 and how many? 76 that we have in this country. For one election, we hear 5,000 policemen were deployed. All manner of things were done. Soldiers, everybody was there. Minister, everybody was driving there. But when it comes to fighting Galamsey, you don't see 5,000 policemen. You don't see the amount of soldiers. You don't see the ministers going in there and showing interest. For me, that is the worrying thing because it looks like the politicians are more interested of their own persons than the national interest.
Michael Koshi Dede is a policy analyst and an engineer. Ghana's headline inflation has slowed further to 11.5% in August 2025, down from 12.1% in July, marking the 8th straight month of decline. According to the latest data from the Ghana Statistical Service, the August rate has already fallen below government end-year target of 11.9%, pointing to firmer price stability. Food inflation eased to 14.8% from 15.1% the previous month, while non-food inflation moderated to 8.7%. Here is the government statistician Dr. Al-Hassan Idrisu with highlights of the data.
The key figure here is that inflation for August 2025 was 11.5%. This means that prices today are 11.5% higher than they were in August 2024. Most importantly, it is the 8th consecutive month of decline and the lowest inflation we've observed since October 2021. In July, inflation was 12.1%, and in December, inflation was 23.8%. So you can see that there is a sharp downward trend with regards to inflation movements. That shows a sustained easing of price pressures. On month-on-month basis, we've seen prices fall by 1.3% between July and August 2025.
We heard government statistician Dr. Al-Hassan Idrisu. Now, President John Dramani Mahama will this afternoon pay a working visit to the Ofankor Road project site. The visit is to assess progress of work on the project, which forms part of the Accra and Sawam Highway expansion. Engineers on site are expected to brief the President on progress, challenges and timelines for completion. Now, with just 3 days to go, exhibitors at Channel 1 TV and Citi FM's This is Ghana exhibition are preparing to showcase high quality, affordable, locally made products on September 6 and 7. The country's largest celebration of homegrown goods and services returns this weekend with vendors promising attractive discounts for patrons. Speaking on Channel 1 TV, some exhibitors commended Citi FM and Channel 1 TV for providing a platform that allows them to market their products and services.
I will completely endorse it and invite everybody to come along. For EPAC, it's a major day in our trade calendar, so we don't miss it. Thanks Citi Radio and Channel 1 TV for putting this show on for all of us.
It's been life-changing for us, and do come and let's network. We can do B2B connections, supply, and all that. So please make sure you take part in this exhibition. It's been great for us, and I'm sure it will do wonders for you.
Businesses are able to also test their products. Okay, so
Right,
the
right.
new innovations coming up. This is an environment for you to test the product, whether customers like it, and the uptake for that, the demand for that. So it's an excellent avenue for businesses from all walks of made in Ghana to try and find out the market potential for their products.
We had some exhibitors for this year's This is Ghana exhibition happening this weekend at the Ifwa Sutherland Children's Park. Now, the This is Ghana exhibition 2025 is proudly powered by Channel 1 TV and Citi FM with sponsorship from MTN, EcoBank, Side Hustle by EK Brand Consult, Ghana Enterprises Agency, Ghana Export Promotion Authority, Ghana Exim Bank, and FVV Rice. It is supported by Trillium Industrial Company Limited and Build Financial Technologies. The management of the Accident and Emergency Unit at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital is appealing to the government to consider the construction of a new facility to address the challenges of no-bed syndrome. The management reveals that patients with relatively stable conditions are turned away from the unit daily as a result of inadequate beds to accommodate them. During a visit to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital by the Health Committee of Parliament, the head of the Accident and Emergency Unit, Dr. Frederick Kwatin, called for urgent support to address the challenge.
You are speaking as if you know it. That is what it is.
Have you got to do something with the space around?
No,
where we are standing in the trash.
No,
this place can take about possibly 4 or 5.
Today you are privileged.
Yeah.
When you came, the place is quiet. Give me 2 hours. All these chairs will be full. People will now be sitting in wheelchairs, and you will have a queue of ambulance. The ambulance queues all the way to the entrance.
Do you need a new emergency?
Yes, I will now explain why I say yes. Not to manage low bed syndrome, but this is a mid-shift environment. The drawings and everything has been ready for a new emergency for so many years. It's to be constructed behind the medical block, state of the art. So now that you have come, my CEO will plead with you that you put in the effort to get that project constructed, like Confanochi.
Dr. Frederick Kwatin is head of the Accident and Emergency Unit at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Now, the Member of Parliament for Nanton and a member of the Health Committee, Abdul Halik Muhammad Sharif, in response, proposed transferring some specialists from the Kolebu Teaching Hospital to health facilities in other regions to reduce the workload on health professionals at the facility.
With CEO and the rest, what you are telling the committee is that let's strengthen. But I'm also telling Chairman, they have a lot of specialists here. Can we get them to agree? Once they are saying that let's strengthen, for the time being, maybe one will sit behind. Can we get them to get some of their specialists to go to Bando, to go to Nanto, to go to Sabilugu, Akabe, to go to corporate?
As part of your corporate social responsibility.
Not even only as part of the social corporate responsibility, but as part of reducing the load on them. Because once you pack all the specialists and everybody in Kolebu, at the end of the day, Chairman, I'll give you an.
Abdul Halik Muhammad Sharif is MP for Nanton and a member of the Health Committee in Parliament. Now, government says it will formally announce its next steps tomorrow regarding the standoff with MultiChoice Ghana Limited, operators of DSTV. The Ministry of Communications, Digital Technology and Innovations has maintained its directive to suspend the company's operations by September 6 if no agreement on price reductions is reached within the 3-day grace period. In addition, the ministry has imposed a daily fine of 10,000 cedis on the company for failing to submit critical pricing data. Speaking on the sidelines of the Digital Africa Summit in Accra, Sector Minister Samuel Mate George reiterated that the government will not back down from its position. And that's it for today's edition of the City Prime News, which has been live from our studios in Adabraka in Accra. Please log on to citynewsroom.com for more stories. I'm Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Thank you for your company.
City News. We